How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I'm going to be ranking all 10 Disney Renaissance movies from the worst to the best. We are continuing the Disney ranking series where I go through each era of Disney films and rank that set of movies. Obviously today, we're going to be talking about perhaps the best era of Disney movies, which, I can say that with a lot of confidence, actually. This is the best era of Disney movies that Disney has produced. But we have 10 to go over, and before we get into the actual ranking, I need to briefly mention, again, I feel like I say this almost every ranking video, but I like all of these movies. I'm genuinely serious. I like all of them. However, I will say some I absolutely adore, so those will be at the top of the list, obviously. Now, these bottom movies, these bottom 10, not 10, bottom 3 or 4, they're not amazing, but I still like them. So just keep that in mind if I do happen to rank one of your favorites that you have a lot of nostalgia for a bit lower, because that doesn't mean I hate the movie, but I think you guys get the gist of that. Let's move on into the ranking. Starting off at number 10, my least favorite Disney Renaissance movie would probably be The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, this is a movie I have no nostalgia for, so I don't entirely know if that plays any factor into it, because I know a lot of people really love this movie, and I can definitely understand why people do. I think a lot of it comes down to the kind of mature nature of the movie. It's probably the most mature Disney movie out there, just in terms of its themes and certain moments that take place and certain viciousness that is in this movie. I mean, you have the character, the villain of Frollo, and he is just evil. I mean, he's a very, very bad guy and is probably one of the most evil Disney villains out there. But he's a great villain as well. And that is something that I do like about this movie. I also like Quasimodo. He's a very sympathetic character, and you're definitely rooting for him, which is always a good thing. One thing I don't entirely like about the movie, though, is the setting. A lot of it takes place at this bell tower in this little town. Like, a lot of it does. Now, there are certain other locations here and there, but, listen, the majority of the movie's at the bell tower. And for a Disney animated movie, I don't entirely know if that works. Now, I know some people are going to be like, oh, you're being hypocritical right now. Because let's just say, for instance, like a movie like Tarzan. That takes place all in the jungle, so why do you have a problem with this movie being set in one location? Well, the location's kind of boring. Now, I'm not saying the bell tower looks bad or anything. It looks beautiful, and actually this movie has amazing animation. But I would say overall, at the end of the day, it's a little overrated, but I still like the movie. Like, I can't have many negatives with it, if we're being honest, but it's just comes down to the fact that I like these movies a little bit more than this one. So that's number 10. Apologies. I know that will upset some people. I know a lot of people enjoy that movie. But at number 9, I have Pocahontas. Now this, again, is going to upset some people. Some people are going to be like, why would you put Pocahontas above Hunchback of Notre Dame? Or Notre Dame. What's it called? Notre Dame? Stupid title. All right, moving on. Anyway, Pocahontas is a beautiful looking movie. I mean, just flat out. It's a beautiful looking movie. Also, you got Just Around the River Bend, which is honestly probably top 10 Disney song. Maybe not top 10, but, 15? Maybe. And it's the only Disney animated film with Christian Bale as a voice. And you guys know me. I love me some Christian Bale. So, here's what it is. I will say, though, this movie's nothing special, but it's enjoyable. I enjoy it. I like, again, unlike Notre Dame, I like the setting of this movie, the forest. It's very beautiful. I mean, again, going back to my main point, it's just a beautiful looking movie. In my opinion, better looking than Notre Dame. So there you go. That's one of the reasons I've ranked it over it. But yeah, it's good stuff. And just has a lot of other good songs as well. Just Around the River Bend's the highlight, but there's some other good ones in there as well. But yeah, there you go. Number 9 is Pocahontas. And at number 8, I have The Rescuers Down Under. Now, for some reason, this movie just was enjoyable to me. It's definitely kind of the black sheep of the Disney Renaissance, if we're being honest. Like, it does not feel like a Renaissance movie. First of all, it's not a musical, doesn't have any songs in it. But, it has A great setting as well. I'm bringing back the setting argument. I love the Australian outback. And also this story just kind of feels organic in terms of it being like a Rescuer sequel. You know, the Rescuers, the first one was good enough. I do think this one's slightly better though than the first. But you're not really introduced to the Rescuers until like maybe 15 minutes into the movie, which is a decent amount of the runtime because it's only like an hour and a half. But, you know, you really set up this story with this kid in Australia and this giant bird thing. And it almost doesn't really feel like a Rescuer sequel at the beginning. But for some reason, I kind of like that. It definitely lacks some of the typical Renaissance magic, but it's still a very fun movie. I also liked Wilbur, the seagull, or albatross. I think he's an albatross, actually. He's voiced by John Candy. I mean, he was in the first movie, but I liked what they did with him in this movie. He had a lot of funny moments. Some people, I'm sure, would say he's kind of an annoying character, but I don't know. This movie kind of worked for me. I'm just being honest. Granted, it's only ranked at number 8, but some people will be upset that it's ranked above Pocahontas and Hunchback of Notre Dame. But, I thought this was a fun movie. You know, there you go. But now that all of my hot takes are out of the way, I think, again, for the most part, I think all my hot takes are out of the way, we can get into number 7, which is Mulan. Now, what can I say about Mulan? This is where, let me tell you, this is where the list gets tricky. I mean, it was hard to rank some of these movies, but Mulan is a good one. You know, I got a lot of nostalgia for Mulan, I'm not going to lie. Fantastic animation. I mean, this came out in 1998, and again, watching a lot of these Disney movies back to back, I really noticed, like, oh, this movie, the animation was a lot better. You really notice, like, each movie as it goes along, you're like, oh, okay, this is a bit of a transitional period for Disney, because the animation just looked really stellar here. Mulan's such a good character as well, and there's some intense battle scenes that feel very big in scale. I mean, specifically like the snowy mountain sequence that I wish I could have witnessed on the big screen. That would have been really awesome. I will say, though, the villain of this movie low-key sucks. It is what it is. I mean, he's not the worst Disney villain, not even in the bottom 10, but, he low-key sucks. Just gonna say it. Anyway, I'll Make a Man Out of You as a banger. You got Eddie Murphy here as Mushu. Classic character, absolutely hilarious. Wouldn't be the same without him, as we found out in the 2020 live-action remake. But yeah, Mulan's fantastic. Good movie. I can't say any more good things about it because that's really all I got to say. But there you go. Good stuff. Anyways, at number 6, I have Hercules. Now, I really love Hercules. Go the Distance, fantastic song. Honestly, that actually might be a top 5 Disney song for me. Love the character of Hercules. He's a very rootable protagonist, just like Quasimodo in Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, I just really love Hercules. You know, he's a true hero, and you watch him struggle throughout the movie, trying to complete this certain mission he's on, so he can, meet back up with his dad Zeus. But then at the end of the movie, he decides to stay on Earth. I mean, it's just great stuff. And all the Greek mythology aspects are very fun. I mean, I'm not like a super big fan of Greek mythology. Like, I'm not a Percy Jackson guy. I wasn't that kid in school. I was a Diary of a Wimpy Kid guy. I mean, but, Greek mythology is still kind of an interesting thing. And I liked the certain aspects of it in this. All the little creatures and stuff. And Danny DeVito as like he's not a Minotaur, is he? I don't know. He's like a goat man. But, that's pretty fun. And then obviously you got Hades as the villain, a very comedic villain. He's a villain that's kind of hard to be mad at or like hate, if we're being honest. I just love Hades, and a lot of people do. He's a fantastic villain. But yeah, that's number 6. So at number 5, I have Aladdin. Now, I did hesitate on putting this higher, I'll be honest, and part of me wishes it was a little bit higher, but I have to put it at number 5. Again, you have great songs. I mean, do I even need to talk about not Part of Your World, hold on, A Whole New World? Hang on, not yet. But, I mean, you do have just beautiful animation paired with beautiful songs, and then you got Genie in here, which might be the best character in all of cinema, if we're being honest. Robin Williams, what a legend. I really miss him, man. But, it's just, the Genie's hilarious and so captivating. The animation form as well is just like, he's so sporadic and kind of twisty and just, it's very good stuff. And you got Jafar, good villain. I love the adventure aspects of this movie as well, especially with the Cave of Wonders. It's a very fun and thrilling sequence, the part when Aladdin kind of has to fly out on the magic carpet from the Cave of Wonders. It almost gets trapped in there. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. There you go. Aladdin. It's a really good movie. I don't really have many negatives with it. Again, these top movies here, just incredibly hard to rank, at least in my opinion. Anyways, at number 4, I have Beauty and the Beast. Now, again, this also hurts kind of putting this low. I would have liked for it to have been maybe 1 or 2 spots higher. But hey, man, it is what it is. I recently rewatched all these movies, so this is like, I kind of have a new headspace for some of these films. But anyway, Beauty and the Beast, great characters, and it's low-key a masterpiece, this movie. I mean, I can't really, again, say anything bad about it. Yeah, the character of the Beast is a very complex character as well. I really like him. He kind of starts off as a villain almost, if we're being honest. But then you see the softer side to him, and it's just one of the best character arcs for me, and maybe all of cinema. Also, you have banger, beautiful songs paired with the animation. I mean, obviously, you have the iconic Belle and Beast dancing scene. You also have Gaston, the Sigma male, fantastic villain as well. And yeah, I mean, everything works. This is true Disney magic. Everything works for this movie. You know, I can't say enough good things about it. But number 3, I have Tarzan. Now, I said my hot takes were done with. Maybe this is kind of another one, putting Tarzan this high. But I'll be honest, a lot of nostalgia for this movie. Like, a lot. It's very wholesome and sweet as well. The relationship between Tarzan and his gorilla mom. It's just like, you know, and the Phil Collins songs. Some people are annoyed that the characters don't get to sing their own songs and Phil Collins has to sing them for them, basically. I don't care. I love Phil Collins. I'm like Patrick Bateman. But, you know, Phil Collins' music's just fantastic. I mean, wow. Also, the jungle vibe of this movie, the jungle setting's amazing, with all the branches and vines. It feels like a very dense place. Kind of gives me anxiety in a lot of ways, if we're being honest. But it just looks so good. It looks great. Great looking movie. And yeah, again, a lot of nostalgia for this movie, so that's why it's probably ranked this high, but very good movie. Really good. At number 2, I have The Little Mermaid, a movie that we are apparently getting a live-action remake for this year, unfortunately. Anyway, this is a very colorful movie, and it looks great. I feel like I've been saying this for all the movies, but well, I mean, what can I say? You have Ursula in here, which is a solid villain, but that's kind of the Renaissance. I mean, the Renaissance for Disney was, you know, great songs, great villains, great story. And again, Little Mermaid, great story. And I think the underwater setting is fantastic as well. Part of your world, let's talk about that finally, as I almost talked about it when I was talking about Aladdin. But part of your world, that's another maybe top 5 Disney song. Again, really good. It's just a beautiful one. The whole sequence is really great. And yeah, I mean, Prince Eric, good character as well. There you go. It's Little Mermaid, man. Well, what can I say? But at number 1, I do have The Lion King. Now, this is always going to be number 1 for me. It's actually not only the best Disney Renaissance movie. Yes, in my opinion, it's the best Disney movie of all time. And not only one of the best Disney movies of all time, it is also one of the best movies of all time. The Lion King. In my opinion. It's like in my top 10. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. Again, a lot of that could come down to nostalgia, but it's got amazing songs, Scar, the animation, the music, not only the songs, but the music done by Hans Zimmer, the score. Holy moly, that scene when Simba at the end of the movie roars on Pride Rock and reclaims Pride Rock, and that, yeah, you know it. You know it. That Hans Zimmer score kicks in like, yo, yo, yo. Hold on. You also have Mufasa's death in here. One of the saddest moments in cinema history. And there's also great themes of responsibility and purpose and kind of death and circle of life and all that. And that scene where Mufasa appears in the clouds and the brightness shines over Simba's face and his eyes widen. And Mufasa's like, remember who you are. And it's just like, yes, man. That is what I'm talking about. That is why I watch movies. Whew, all right. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, brother. But yeah, that's The Lion King. It's masterpiece, work of art. A lot of these movies are works of art, though. I mean, I'd say pretty much all of them are, if we're being honest. Again, I said I like all these movies. I really do like them all. Believe me or not. But there you go. That is all 10 Disney Renaissance films ranked from worst to best. Please let me hear your rankings down in the comments below, because I'm sure we're going to have differing opinions, and I'm definitely curious just to see what you guys have to say about which ones you like more than others and which one's your favorite. Yeah, super curious. So please let me hear all that down in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and please check out my social media, my Twitter, my Letterboxd, down in the description and pinned comment below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.